Bird Gang, congratulations. It's here. You've done it. You made it. We're days away from Cardinals taking on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and we are here to break it down a little bit more before we get to that point. I'm Tyler Drake. That's Lauren Colville for another edition of Cardinals Corner. Welcome back in. But before we get into the football talk, we've got a little bit of celebrating to do because Lauren has been promoted. So Lauren, take it away. The floor is yours. Congratulations. Tell us what's going on.
Thank you. With the promotion, I'm very excited because I will now be the full-time producer of the Burns and Gambo Show from 2 to 6 on Arizona Sports. You will hear a lot more of me on the airwaves. I will be taking over all of those on-air things that you're used to hearing Mitch Ferraldis do. I will be doing instead, which also opens up a lot more time for us to focus on this podcast as well, because I'll be in the building a lot more. So very excited about it.
Yes, very happy to have you sticking around. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Cardinals. We're here to talk about the Cardinals. All right. Before we go into week one, I want one bold prediction from you for the season for the Arizona Cardinals.
Marvin Harrison Jr. breaks Puka Nakua's rookie yardage record.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's my bold prediction.
Why? What makes you think that?
You genuinely seemed floored, like out the gate. So I like that means it's bold.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yes. Yes.
Because I think that he will be the runaway wide receiver number one. I think that the gap between him and every other wide receiver will just increase in how dramatic it is.
Okay.
Meaning sort of that gap will only cement itself as being bigger and bigger as we go along in the season. I think him and Trey McBride will sort of be the 1-2 dynamic punch that everybody expects them to be. And with that, I think as the season continues and Kyler's relationship grows with Marvin Harrison Jr. and only gets stronger, that'll help him break Puka Nakua's record.
Wow. Okay. I like that one a lot. That's a very astute prediction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, for me, so if you guys go to arizonasports.com, I've got a couple out there. I think about 4 bold predictions, but I'm going to pull one from there. And for me, it's kind of piggybacking off yours a little bit because I agree. I think Marvin is in for a big year. I think 1,000 is the floor for him, 1,000 yards. I think there's 2 other guys that are going to get 1,000 too, though. I think not Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, he should. After what we saw last year, he didn't get to play. Like, he wasn't a starter for half the season, basically, and came in and had, 800 and something yards? Like, that's his floor. I mean, he should be in the 1,000-yard mark area. And lastly, James Conner. Saw it last year. I think this offense is perfect for him and what they want to do with him, and he very much looks like he is using what he did last year as kind of a building block into this year. Obviously, I know that kind of sounds weird. He's a veteran, but he very much just seems like he is that much more tuned in to what's going on. And I think him hitting 1,000, especially if he can stay healthy, if he can eliminate those 3 games missed the last couple of years, should be easy.
I think those 3 games missed is also kind of why I picked Marvin to break that record, is because can Michael Wilson stay healthy?
That's the other thing too. Yeah, and he would very much be in that conversation too if he can stay healthy. I mean, there's a couple guys who I think if Kyler can get them the ball, I mean, Greg Dortch is in that conversation too, just because of the confidence everybody has in him. I mean, Drew Terrell talked to us today about just how he's probably the most confident guy on the team, at least in the wide receivers room. And he's the smallest guy in the room, but the dude is a grinder and it is all about his business. So there's a lot of potential for these guys to hit that 1,000-yard mark, and especially because the defense might struggle. I mean, there's a lot of questions. Maybe they don't. Maybe we're completely off base, but there's going to be some struggles I see from the defense that is going to make Kyler and this offense have to really be a high-powered offense.
It is not out of the question to say the offense puts up dynamic point totals each game. It's just then could become a battle of how many points does the defense give up?
Exactly. And that too could take away from Connor a little bit. So I think saying 3 1,000-yard guys with the playmakers they have doesn't seem as bold, but when you look into it, what they want to do, they want to run the ball. It's going to be tough to achieve, and I think they have the playmakers to do it. It's just how is the situations going to present themselves moving forward?
Exactly. I think they'll have a far more dynamic offense this year than years we've seen.
Yeah.
In the past 5 years.
I think this is top to bottom. This is one of the better offenses Kyler's ever had, and especially with how he is in tune with offensive coordinator Drew Petzing, the system as a whole, how much he likes it. Like, all of the stuff is trending towards Kyler really bouncing back in a huge way this year. And that was another one of my bold predictions, was that he's going to be back in the MVP race. I mean, I think 2021, that first stretch, that first half of the season, he was very much in that conversation. And everything kind of went sour after the, 7-1, 8-1, right around there. AJ Green didn't turn around against the Packers, and everything went bad after that. But I mean, you look at that, I think that is a similar type of trajectory we could see, at least the beginning of that. And I don't see a huge drop off later on, especially with the teams they got to play in the back half of the season. They've got some games where it's not the Bills, it's not the Niners, it's not the Packers. Like, this first gauntlet's going to be tough, but it opens up in the back half. So if they can keep things close to 500 at the gate, they should have a good chance at really going far, at least fighting for a playoff spot, I think, or doubling the win total.
That's almost exactly what I wrote in the article that we published yesterday on ArizonaSports.com about our roundtable.
Yes.
I said similar. If they can survive the first half of that gauntlet of a schedule, the second half opens up for them to do whatever they want.
Yes. Well, they have to survive week 1. That's against the Bills. Automatic contender for the title this year, as they have been for the last couple of years. Josh Allen is that dude. Let me get your bold prediction for week 1. What do you think is going to happen for the Cardinals? What do you think is going to happen?
I think that the Cardinals will record more sacks than the Bills.
Okay.
And I know that edge rusher has specifically been a position that has been hyped, and in the sense of, like, everybody is focusing on how they can perform and how dynamic they're going to be, especially when we saw BJ Ojulari go down. It was sort of sirens, what's going to happen. Then we watch Darius go down, more sirens, more alerts. At this point, someone call 911. We needed to get that room under control. And I think the overall excitement and passion that this team is talking about, especially this week leading up to week 1, it's sort of, we understand that that's happening, but we're not focused on that. We're not worried about the fact that we're missing guys. What we're focused on is proving all of our haters wrong. Is proving that we can be dynamic. So my sort of, if you will, bold prediction for week 1 is the Cardinals record more sacks than the Bills.
Okay. I would say, well, first, who do you think is going to be the leading sack getter in that bold prediction for the Cardinals?
Dennis Gardeck.
Okay. Going to get the start.
Yes.
So
I'm excited. He should also just be the leading sack getter, recorder.
Sack getter.
Okay, thank you. I maybe just invented a word, but yes. On this Cardinals team for the entire season.
Oh, whole season. Okay.
I know that that's not a sort of out-of-the-box bold prediction, but just the way that he's been talking about how much more comfortable he feels with this team, and how Nick Rallis sort of understands him a little bit more than he's felt like previous regimes had. I think this could have a really great impact on him.
Okay. I've got two that one just popped in my head.
Come on, spit it out.
The first one though, Marvin is going to get close to Anquan Bolden's NFL debut.
Okay.
And if you would like a recap of his NFL debut,
I would love a recap.
10 catches, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't think it gets much bolder than that.
It doesn't. And what I like about your bold prediction is it feeds into my bold prediction for the season.
Exactly. I think for the Cardinals, the game plan should be go into Buffalo, put the pressure on that secondary right away. They've had so much turnover. I mean, even the defensive front has had some turnover, but the secondary, the safeties are completely different. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde are no longer there. Go attack them. Damar Hamlin, Taylor Rapp, yes, they're there. They're starting. Go attack these guys and really see if you can push the envelope right away. And best way to do that, deep shots to Marvin. So that's why I could see the yardage being right there.
As a football fan, I'm just rooting for Damar Hamlin. Generally speaking, with what happened to him last season, I'm wishing the absolute best for him. I also hope that Marvin smokes him into the end zone for a touchdown.
So that's my first one. Is Marvin is going to be close or get to Anquan Bolden's numbers, which is nuts. I mean, and if he's doing that, look out.
Yeah.
I think the 1,000-yard mark is very much the very bottom of the floor.
The bottom of the barrel for him there.
But my other one, this one just popped in my head because it would just be very interesting. Just because Josh Allen, great quarterback, through the air, I think he threw 29 touchdowns last year, and that was a low mark for him. On the ground, I think he ran for 15, but he does make mistakes in the air. I mean, he has those. I think only in like 3 games last year he didn't throw a pick. So there's opportunity there for the Cardinals to really get one back against a really good quarterback, because if they can't capitalize on those little mistakes, they're not winning this game.
And he doesn't have a dynamic star wide receiver.
Not anymore.
Stephon Diggs out of there, over to Houston now.
Yep.
So
Gabe Davis isn't there now.
Exactly. So he's going to have to find that deep ball threat in somebody else.
So I'm thinking multi-pick game.
Oh.
For Max Melton.
I like that you forced yourself into a corner.
Yeah, I
like
did.
Live right there. I watched
on
it
Cardinals
happen.
Corner. Yeah.
Wow.
Synergy. I think I'm going to go. Let's just get bold with it. Let's have the rookies go off. Marvin gets close to Bolden. Max Melton gets the ball back to the offense twice. 3 times? Twice. I'm going to say twice.
Okay.
But I think that's really bold too, because I think we all can see that Starling's probably going to get that starting rep, at least to start. And so how much do they use Max? Can he come in and make that impact? But, I mean, yeah, let's go that. 2nd round pick. I think that's going to be my other bold prediction. I kind of stole one there. So if you have another one you want, go for it.
No, you're sticking with consistency. You gave 2 bold predictions for the season.
Oh, yeah, you're
And
right.
now you're giving 2 now. I like it.
A little over the top.
It's fine. You're excited. Everybody's excited.
Yes. Football's back. That was a great game yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Very fun. Fun ending, I should say.
Fun first 5 minutes and fun
Flags
last 5 minutes.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. Sticking with Buffalo, sticking with Arizona. Who's one player not named Josh Allen that you really need to see be limited come Sunday?
I'm going to piggyback off of what you said a little bit earlier, which is I think the player you got to watch out for is Keon Coleman.
Ooh,
because the rookie out of Florida State, little Trey Benson, Keon Coleman reunion. I was talking to you off camera a little bit about the fact that I have a soft spot for Keon Coleman just because of the introductory presser he gave in Buffalo, where he's wearing that coat and talking about you got to buy your coats in the summer because they're on sale, and he got it at like Macy's or something like that. He understands it, because I was also raised in a house where it was like, it's summer, we'll go into the Gap sale section, buy your winter coat for when we go back to
Half
Illinois.
off, baby.
Done. So I feel him on that level. But I think that he could be that deep ball threat that Josh Allen's looking for.
Okay.
He's quick. He's skilled down the field. That is sort of his expertise down at Florida State, was just let him go.
Yeah.
See what he does.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen, we know, has a cannon for an arm that isn't always accurate, but I'm interested to see how Coleman can fight for that downfield. Also, his quickness, speed, and overall athleticism against these Cardinals corners will be a really interesting matchup. Specifically, I'm looking at, 20 yards past the line of scrimmage at least.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a good pick. Yeah, obviously Diggs, that's a huge hole to fill for sure. And I don't think it's going to get filled by just one person. I think it's going to be a multi-step process for them. So with that, I think Coleman's a good one. I'm going to go with Dalton Kincaid.
Okay.
Because this dude could be one of those guys that gets a lot of the targets left behind by Diggs and Davis. Dude's going to bring it. I mean, he's in his 2nd year. I think he was 3rd on the team in receiving yards. The only people ahead of him, I think, were Diggs and Davis. So, there's clearly a connection there. Should only get better heading into year 2. They've got Dawson Knox, too. They love running multiple tight end sets. There's going to be a lot of looks that I think are going to be similar to what the Cardinals are trying to do. But it's going to be interesting to see how they use Kincaid versus McBride differently. That'll be something that really sticks out to me. But I think he's a guy. If you can limit him, I think there's a lot more mistakes that Josh Allen can make happen just because he's looking deeper. He's looking for Coleman down there. He's trying to take a shot when everything else is kind of imploding around him. So that's somebody, if they can eliminate that security blanket, that up-and-comer, I think there's a very good chance that they can keep Josh Allen not so all-pro level.
Fair enough. I think your comparison there about the tight ends is really interesting because that's something I hadn't really thought about heading into the game, which is the Bills are running sort of what the Cardinals want to, sort of their dream scenario, 2 pass-catching tight ends out there. You don't see that a lot in the NFL where they're on even tiers or, close to even platforms most of the time. One's out there just to do some blocking, one's out there to do some pass catching. So I'm intrigued to see if you can sort of look at some plays that the Bills make and go, the Cardinals could model their offense off of that a little bit.
Yeah, even if Josh Allen is 8 inches taller than Kyler Murray, which he said.
He did.
I didn't say that. Kyler Murray said that himself, but that was a funny conversation. Those two talked at Christian Kirk's wedding. That's what Kyler was telling us, and a lot of golf talk.
A lot of golf
Even
talk.
though Kyler's still not into golf. We'll have to get him into it.
No, I did. I enjoyed his comment of I don't care about that, but I talked to him about it, and we're not friends, but we were friendly.
Yeah, likes golf and he's a dog. That's what I got from what Kyler had for Allen.
Main takeaways. Main takeaways.
All right, final part of the program. What is going to happen Sunday? Give me a score prediction.
I think that it will be a close game throughout, but the Bills' offense in the end will get it done because they have been a top 5 offense in the league at this point for multiple years.
Okay.
And it seems that they always do exactly what they need to do until they get to the playoffs. So I'm expecting a similar level of sort of easing into it. I also think that this Bills offense will only get better as the season goes on.
Yep.
They're young. The connection as it grows between Josh Allen and all of his wide receivers and tight ends out there. Also, they have a dynamic run game, which we haven't spoken on,
James
but
Cook.
They do have a dynamic run game.
And Josh Allen.
Yeah, true. So I think it'll be 28-21.
Ooh, okay. So for me, I think I said this in a record prediction. I said the Cardinals are going to win it.
You did.
And there's been things that have happened. I think the Ojulari injury happened. The Darius Robinson injury happened. Zay Jones got suspended. Things have happened. I think I'm still going with the Cardinals.
I like it. You're
Which is
sticking with
very
the bold theme throughout.
It's bold. We're getting bold. But I just think there's so many question marks the Bills have of just playing with each other. There's a lot of continuity along the offensive line. There's continuity with some of Josh Allen's pass catchers, running back. But there's still the defense that I'm just not sold on right now. I need to see them actually perform before I can give them they're a top 5 defense. Like, I think there's a good chance the Cardinals go out there and really have a shootout. Like, I'm not saying the Cardinals defense is going to go out there and shut them down to 15 points. I think we're going to be looking at like a 35-30 game. Like, it's going to be fireworks.
That would be a change from almost any game last season, and I would embrace that with open arms.
Yeah, and I really just think that the Bills are going to be having to work through some things with these new pieces, especially in the back end. That's why I think if they can attack the deep ball early, this could be a very fun game for Cardinals fans, especially the Cardinals.
True, and Matt Milano, so many of their captains have been out. They're gone, so...
Trey McBride, blow up.
Oh, yeah, it's a team that is looking for leadership.
Yeah, and so that's kind of where I'm at. It's still kind of an out of the box, I will say, bold prediction one more time, but I just think the Cardinals have enough firepower to really hang with a Bills team that's still going to be figuring things out. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I'm happy that they're playing the Bills the first game of the season and we're not looking at them in that second half of the season.
That might be different.
Yep.
Because at that point, they're looking playoffs, they're looking fine-tuned. That's the point where I think I'm probably giving the edge to the Bills at that point. Like, it's just they are a team built to be good at the back half of the season.
Exactly, because Sean McDermott, their head coach, is dynamic in sort of in-game adjustments and also... he's really good at targeting where do we need to grow and where can we improve, generally speaking. And Jonathan Gannon even spoke on it, gave him a lot of high praise this week as well.
Yep, 100%. Well, with that, we will turn it back to you guys. Be sure to keep it locked on the Arizona Sports app, 98.7 and ArizonaSports.com. We will be back Sunday to break down all the good, the bad, potentially ugly that comes out of the Bills and Cardinals game. So be sure to keep it locked on us, Cardinals Corner. You can follow me at TDrake for Sports. You can follow Lauren at Colville_Lauren. You can follow the show at AZ Cards Corner. And for Cardinals Corner, I'm Tyler Drake. That's Lauren Colville. See you guys later.